Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Angelica and we're doing readings today. You will find readings on my channel every day at 7 a.m. Mountain Time. I have other offers, types of videos, different things that I'm going to be doing here that I'm so excited. And it's really just about kind of going with the flow and getting those things out to you, to add value to your life, to help you, to support you, gain clarity, coherence, remember who the F you are, right? So I am here. So I have been kind of here in the reading, getting a feel for the energy and the environment. And let me tell you, there's some powerful energy coming in, as if you couldn't feel it, right? So I actually, first, I drew from the Keepers of the Light deck, and three very auspicious and very powerful cards came out of that. So first off, we have Isis that came out. Like, what the actual F? So if we have Isis coming out, we know that there is magic, there is manifestation, there's a lot of powerful energies. This is saying, wow, I mean, obviously Egyptian, right? There's a lot of Egyptian energy coming through here. There is also an activation, I want to say here. We're going to be doing some light codes in this video, but I do feel, because Isis was a Syrian being, right? She was from Syria. So I do feel like there is a serious transmission here, that she would like to bring through. But moreover, and I kind of did my makeup like her today a little bit, which is very interesting. I'm also wearing my little Ankh necklace. It's not just an Ankh. It has the scarab, the Eye of Ra, the Eye of Horus, and the Ankh all in one, like, really powerful symbol. Anyways, Isis is bringing through this Syrian activation, but she's also like, she revived her lover, right? She brought her lover back from the dead. And so this card is saying to me, reviving old dreams that may have been killed off, right? That we may have buried and thought we killed off a long time ago. But they're being brought back to life because they were never meant to be killed off in the first place. You were meant to accept that you have a big mission, that you have big energy, that you have exactly what is needed within you, within your soul, to pursue. And not just pursue, but successfully pursue those dreams. Successfully manifest those dreams, attract those dreams, magnetize them as if by magic. This is Isis was a master magician. She was a lot of things. Okay, let's say she was a lot of things, but the way that's coming out in this reading at present time is not just a master manifester, my love. She was a master magician. She knew how to use the elements inside her, all around her. She knew how to tap into the depths of her cellular DNA and activate that. I mean, she was a shapeshifter. She knew how to manipulate reality. She was a master magician. Hear me when I say this. She was a shapeshifter. She could show off her wings, right? She could come in the form of, no, that's Hathor. I'm thinking of the cow. But Isis was a powerful shapeshifter as well. Very, very powerful shapeshifter. She could show you she could show you whatever form she wanted you to see or that she wanted to embody at that time. So, what does this say about you, my friend? You too have, if you're watching this, probably are going to resonate with some form of being a shapeshifter, being able to shift from here to here to here to here. And there's something in here about people pleasing coming in here as well. I feel like people pleasing can be one of those things where we learn those traits to shapeshift in negative ways or in ways that might dim our light. However, if you can take the same technology and apply it to a greater cause, a bigger purpose, guess what you have? You have the fucking master magician. And the ankh over the throat with the eye of Horus, and oh my god, the eye of Horus and the eye of Ra, both. That's a massive, massive throat chakra upgrades, and because we're going to do some light activations here. Not just powerful activations, but like you're coming into a deeper sense of who the fuck you are. You're coming into the deeper awareness, the deeper acceptance, the deeper embodiment of who you are. And you're just like, you know what? We just got to do this. We're just going to have to do this. I feel this greater acceptance of your big energy coming online. And that's beautiful because we're going to need it. We need it. We need it moving through these next years, in a practical sense, as humanity ascends and these systems crumble. We need you and your big energy and your big ideas and your big mission and your big purpose in your master magician form. We need you to be that, whatever that is for you, whatever that looks like. Okay. And then with this, with Isis, I was asking for a clarifier, and then we got washed away inhibiting identities. Is who you present to the world aligned with your depths? Is it aligned with your depths? Is who you present to the world the fucking master manifester? Or is it a dumbed down, dimmed down version of who you actually are? Let me fix the camera here. 1 second. 1 second. Okay. We're right here. We're right here, my love. Okay. So this is all about these old identities. And look, we got wings, right? Isis always comes with the wings. We got wings. And this here looks like a scarab to me. So scarabs might be significant here. It's funny, I'm actually hearing like a spirit animal or a totem. Scarab as a totem or scarab as a spirit animal. That might resonate as well here as too. But this is about you just being who you are. You need to be this. Stop trying to dim yourself down or dim your light or dumb yourself down. Or pretend like you don't know what's going on, or just pretzel yourself into this little scared ball. of like, because you're too scared to be in your big energy. We need you to be Isis. We need you to be who you are. Yeah. This old identity of dimming yourself, dimming your light, dumbing yourself down, that's all going away. She's helping. She's helping. Now, you also got to remember, you got to do the work, right? To get there. It doesn't have to be hard and arduous, although it's not always pleasant. But you do have to do the work in earnest to ground this energy, to be the magician. You have to practice your magic. You have to do it daily. You have to practice those things daily. 11:11 on the clock when I said that. So there is also a sense of building a new identity based off who the fuck you really are. Okay? So that old identity can go bye-bye. That old identity can't come with you. If you're stuck in that old identity, what am I hearing? 1 second. If you're stuck in an old identity, we would like you to trace back through your heart space. Look into your heart, dear one. Where was it when you first began changing who you were, dimming your light, shutting yourself down, making yourself small? We would encourage you to look into your heart, because the heart has all the answers, in order to trace back where the first time that happened, where you started making yourself small. Okay? And then I would just say, as a very grounded way to do this, journal. Journal about that. Journal what comes up. See what comes up. Allow yourself, give yourself time and space to have those things bubble up. Because here's the thing. If you're new to the work, or if you're like me, sometimes it takes some time to just sink into that space. You got to give yourself time to let yourself sink into that space and sit in that space and sit in that energy and focus your energy there so that the things can come up, right? Quantum physics says where we put our energy is where, the energy flows. So sometimes you might have to sit in that for a minute, flow your energy there, and then things start to bubble up. Give yourself time and space, though. Somebody needs to hear that. Stop thinking that it's just going to snap in. It doesn't always snap in. Sometimes it's a very gentle placement, and you actually have to be aware that the things are happening. Okay, so the next the next card I got was actually Serapis Bay. It's about ascension, right? Move into your true self, rise above the darkness. The light is here. This is about, a higher perspective and seeing above it all, rising above it all, being able to take your deepest, darkest wounds, experiences, emotional baggage, ancestral trauma, whatever it is, to be able to take that and do something with it. And here's the thing. I want to say Serapis, but I don't know this. I don't know this as a fact, but I have heard somewhere with someone I have worked with their tools and stuff before, I want to say that they mentioned that Isis and Serapis Bey were actually twin flames. I don't know this, but there is heavy Egyptian energy coming in either way. Divine feminine, divine masculine, right? There's a lot of balance here. And I just want you to look at that because there's a lot of balancing going on there. What I was going to say with this is taking your deepest wounds, your deepest, whatever they are, fears, different things, transmuting them as the magician, as the alchemist. The divine feminine and masculine are rising and are ready to work together to create something new, something better. This is internally as well as externally. So take it as it resonates. There are some people there is a collective in the field that are going to be meeting their twin flame, meeting their divine partner, meeting their soulmate. There's a lot of different words for this. So take whatever resonates, take it how it resonates. So that could mean a love match or a coupling. However, I always like to bring it back to the essence, the energy within you, right? Because everything outside of you is a reflection of what's in here. So if we focus on what's in here and we align it, the reflection has no choice but to change. And so if the love match is coming in, that person is coming in, they're going to come in regardless of, whatever else is doing the things, so long as you're doing the things. Savvy? You get it? Okay. So Serapis Bey comes in with this message of take your deepest pains, your deepest wounds, your deepest heartaches, your deepest grievances. Rise above them. Transmute them. Use them and utilize them for what they were meant for, which is fertilizer to help you grow. When you learn the lesson and you allow the pain, the grief, the low emotions to move through you, and you let those emotions run through you, right? What eventually happens when you allow those emotions, right, energy and motion, to move through you? After that happens, what happens? You feel a sense of, lightheartedness. You feel things coming back. Okay, I feel like myself again. And that in there, you can actually take the wisdom. We always want to take the wisdom. Leave the pain, release the hurt, right? Through those emotions. Keep the wisdom. If you don't keep the wisdom, you're not actually grounding here. You actually have to keep the wisdom, not just keep it, integrate it into your life. Integrate it into your very being. Okay? So Serapis Bey is also bringing in, this is the one that I was like, wow, sabotage. He's talking about sabotage, right? He's talking about sabotage, shifting sabotage, enhance awareness of subconscious patterns, right? If we're talking about taking your deepest wounds, your deepest pains, they are in the subconscious. Where are you sabotaging yourself? Where have you been sabotaging yourself? That all seems to be coming to light now, where you've been sabotaging yourself, those patterns. I'm even hearing micro patterns. So maybe fragmentations of those sabotaging patterns. If you know, you know. I'm really just talking to your subconscious. Okay. So if you don't fully know, it's okay. Or if you don't know, you can ask. But this is about releasing sabotage. And a lot of it is self-sabotage. Look at the broken heart. See if I can get it there. If you can see the broken heart, right there. Boop, boop, boop. This is mending at this time. This is mending at this time. We're sealing all of those cracks in the heart. So the heart can heal and open again, where I'm getting the I'm getting this image of when we're a kid and maybe we touch the stove and the stove is hot and we're like, oh shit. Like we learn not to do that again, right? I'm getting that. And then that's actually the equivalent of what happens when we experience emotional pain, trauma, neglect, different things like that. It's the same sensation in your brain. Your brain doesn't know the difference. It's the same thing. So there's something here about we're rewiring the brain as well. I look at all of these light codes. It's like it's literally rewiring the brain to move in a different way, to become in coherence with the heart. Oh my God, that's crazy. That's crazy pants. That's crazy pants. Let's fix this again. Okay, so with that, I would even say to tap into that in breath, out breath, basically meditation, move with the breath, balance the flux of life. To me, this says, wow, there's a lot of things. To me, this says balance, but it also says meditation, right? Focusing on the breath in order to bring balance, in order to bring understanding. So to me, it really says sitting with the self, like I was saying just a little bit ago, sitting with the self, letting those things bubble up, focusing on the breath. Don't expect the things. Don't like try to, what do they call it? I'm trying to think of the word. Um, don't try to guess at what's going to happen and, project all over what wants to come in. Just breathe. I'm even hearing box breathing. 4 in, 4 hold, 4 out, 4 hold. 4 in, 4 hold, 4 out, 4 hold. Okay? I'm hearing box breathing. You need to tune in. Whoever's watching this, you're probably going to resonate with tuning in on this deeper level. Meditation and silence is going to get you there. I promise. Sometimes we're like, oh, I don't want to do it. I have this, I have that. But really, do you? We think we're so busy. But I'm from a time, I was born in the 80s, right? We didn't have shit to do back then. We entertained ourselves. So we think we ought to do all of these things, but really, it's been inundated, right? We've inundated ourselves with this and that, and we've allowed it. So allow yourself to go back to a simpler time. And I don't mean go backwards in time. I just mean going back to a simpler time. And I'm even hearing a simpler template within you of where you can simply be. Because from that beingness, that is the place that is so alive, teeming with life. It has so much to offer us: information, insight, epiphanies, so much. But we have to quiet down, silence, meditate, breathe in, breathe out, and simply be. The other one, Yeah. And I'll just say it's time to go there. It's time to go there. It's time to breathe. It's time to meditate, right? It's also time to shift the sabotage. Oops. Let's see. My bad. Sorry, guys. It's also time to shift the sabotage. It's also time to go wherever that pattern is. What I'm seeing and hearing about, let's see. Oh no. Okay, it's still recording. Okay. No. I don't know what's going on. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. It is basically time to go into those patterns, those things that are shutting you down, making you small, that old identity. It's time to go there. It's time to go there so that you can transmute it, so that you can be the magician, the magical fucking being that you are, and transmute it. If you don't know how to transmute, you'll learn how to transmute. Okay? Take it as it resonates. But it is time to go there. It's very interesting. This also says something about your path of going there, right? We talked about Isis. Be the fucking magical being that you are. Stop dimming your light. Just accept I have a big energy, or I have this type of energy. I have a soft energy. I have a warm energy. I have a peaceful energy. Accept that about yourself, because that is the magic, that is the medicine that you are cultivating that other people need. Whether it's your family, whether it's friends, whether you work one-on-one with people, or that you want to work on, whatever the case is. This says it's time to be on your path. Part of that path is you simply being in your magic, being your magical self, being a weirdo, being your magical weirdo self. You just have to accept it. And I will say, if you're struggling with accepting it, or you're struggling with it, acceptance is going to get you a long way. Acceptance is where you want to actually be. So finding whatever way, committing yourself, whatever way that you can, intending, I'm going to fucking get there no matter what way I have to get there. In integrity, all right, aligned. In order to accept this about myself. I have a mission, I have big energy, I have soft energy, I have a loving energy, I have whatever energy. And I'm going to be that person. I'm going to be that. I'm going to learn. I'm going to learn the skills. I'm going to integrate the skills. Whatever that you have to do, honey, it's time to do it, and it's time to ground it into action. Because these little feet here on the coals telling me it's time to ground it into the physical. And luckily we have a divine counterparts that are helping you with the inspiration and then grounding it, because you're a you're an antenna, right? You, as an energy worker, also have to ground the circuit, just like electricity in a building. It has to be grounded, right? So we can't just receive information all day and not do anything about it. Yeah, we have to, as we receive it, that's your feminine, right? That's your feminine essence coming in, receiving the inspiration, receiving that influx, that download. And then because she's the leader. She's the leader. She's the leader of the band. Yeah, she's the director. She's the divine director. She's receiving it, and then from that inspiration, he takes action to rise above it all, right? Ascend above it all. To ascend above it all. And it's funny that the whatchamacallit keeps coming down, huh? Let's bring it down, bring it down, bring it down. We're bringing it down so that we can ground it. The last card that I got here for y'all is, and I don't know how to say his name, but I'm going to do my best. Sanat Kumara. A light activation. And this is where we're going to bring in this light activation, because if you look at him, he's got light codes all around him. And I was reading about him. I was reading about him in the book. Something that stuck out with me is that at times he's seen to bring the bearer or be the bearer of divine, divine will, the divine plan, God's divine plan. And I want that to sink in, and I want you to sit with that, because there is an aspect here, right? You wouldn't be seeing it if it wasn't. That is a direct reflection of you. Shine your light. Your internal guidance is coming through loud and clear. It's be the light. Be the divine plan. Because there is a divine plan within you, a divine blueprint within you that has divine instructions. And those divine instructions tell you, hey, go over here and talk to this person. Hey, maybe you should make a video about this over here, talking about this, because people need to hear it. Hey, right? Be the plan. Part of what you're here to do is simply be that which you are, which is a fucking magician. And as the magician, you are the fucking light. You are shining the light. You are being the light. The divine downloads that come in, you don't question them. They come in, you say, okay, all right. But here's the thing. I do feel that there are some people in the collective that I'm reading for, is that you keep denying those things. Yeah. The downloads come in, you're questioning it, you're second guessing it, you're doubting it, you're uncertain about it, you're reluctant, right? You're apprehensive. That's programming, honey. So we're gonna alleviate some of that programming and clear up your fields today, is what I'm hearing. He's gonna bring in some divine clarity, because your internal guidance is coming through loud and clear. If you are not taking action at this time, but you are receiving clear divine guidance, and you know it is, honey, let me tell you, it's probably not a place that you want to be. Because it's going to be difficult. You're going to feel the resistance. You're going to feel some type of way. You're going to feel like something is not right. It's off. You might feel depressed. You might feel in those lower vibrational states of being. Now, those states of being aren't bad inherently. But when you're chronically every day feeling those, guess where you're creating your reality from? Those lower states of being. Okay? And so if your divine guidance is coming through and you're not taking action, Source wants me to say, I want you to recognize there's resistance in the way of you doing the thing. That doesn't mean you get to blame it. That doesn't mean you get to be like, oh, this is my excuse of why I'm not doing the things. No, honey. You get to recognize it. You get to clock it. And then you get to do something about it and say, all right, what do I do? Is there a healer out there? Okay, the Source. Where do I need to go? Show me what I need to do. What needs to happen? Is it me? What needs to go on? Do I need to see a healer? Do I need to go over here and see this person and have them be my mentor? If you have resistance, you need to work through it. That is part of your divine responsibility as a human being. Just as you have a physical being that you have to tend to and you have to care for, your spirit, your spiritual bodies are also your responsibility. However, there has been massive cover-ups throughout generations, right? With the influx of religion, of like, we're shutting that shit down. Nope, nope, you're not divine. You're not this. You're not that. You're not this. Yes, you are. Stop listening to the shenanigans. Stop listening to those whose shenanigans are responsible for some of the most horrific things that we're seeing right now. And I say that with a kind of like with a smile on my face, because I know that it's all working out according to the divine plan. It's literally how things go. And the fact that we're attached to any of it says a lot about our consciousness. It says a lot about where we are as a human being, as a human species. And it also says a lot about what we need to release, what type of spells, curses, programs, these type of things that need to actually be released that aren't working for us. Okay. There is one more card from who? Yana. Okay. We're going to do this other deck by, I can't remember which one it is. It's the same one that does, it's not this deck, but it's the same chick. Oh yeah, Izzy Ivy. Yeah, she does this deck too. In fact, I just used the Light Code Apothecary. But this is her other deck that I don't know where the book is right now, but we're going to pull one last card as a closing card, a closing message, and then we're going to get into some light codes. So I feel the light codes need to come in pretty. Ooh, all right. Well, that's interesting. We're going to cut it. I'm just going to cut the deck. So sometimes it's the deck, but sometimes it's the energy. We're just going to cut it all. I'm hearing to cut it again. Oh, this is interesting. Attune and recalibrate. So, and on the bottom of the deck, we have cave. Oh, wow. Interesting. All right. Very interesting. Earth Guardians. Okay. That's very interesting. So we have 2 of activations, which is attune and recalibrate. This just says to me, oh yeah, the chakra system is getting an upgrade. There's a lot of new colors. Then this also reminds me of the Aurora Borealis going on right now. It's kind of crazy. It's like everywhere. This says to me that magnetic energy that's going around, attuning us, calibrating us to a higher vision, a higher knowing, a higher state of being. From that higher state of being, we can transform the world. Imagine if everybody was in that higher state of being. We would transform the world within a fucking day. Okay? I don't know who needs to hear that. Somebody needs to hear that. You need to understand how powerful you are. And if you feel like you're not powerful, I encourage you, my love, to heal, to find a mentor, to find a healer, to find someone to help you work through those things. If you do not know how to work, like if you're new to the work. um, but right now, this says we are attuning, we are recalibrating in order. I just heard summer come in because summer is usually everything's focused. We're going, things are moving really fast. You feel the momentum of summer. Um, Take this time to attune and calibrate or recalibrate your system, especially before summer arrives. We're in that spring energy now. Everything's blooming and it's coming back to life, springing back to life. You are too. You are too. If we are intentional and are moving with the flow of not your job, not the calendar, the actual rhythms of not only life but nature. You're right. We get a little bit in winter. We kind of close down a little bit, go into a little bit more of a me. It's just me and my. At least that's what I do. In spring, it's time to come out and resurrect and be this new version of yourself that you've been cultivating all winter, fall and winter, right? And in summer, you're just this full expression of it, doing the thing, manifesting, blah, blah, blah. And then fall, the harvest comes in, the fruits of your labor, right? And then it starts again. As you move with the seasons of like the natural cycles, you'll notice that life becomes a lot easier. You become a lot more attuned to not just life, but yourself, your own rhythms, and how your body and your biological technology, because you do have biological technology, it just might be a little dormant, but it's coming online and you feel it. I know you do. Otherwise, you wouldn't be watching this. Uh, the more we attune to that, we can attune to our own rhythms. We can understand how our body wants to move, how it wants to rest, and we can actually take heed in that by creating boundaries. When my body says rest, that's it. I'm not doing a workout. As much as I like to take the pre-workout and get pumped up and go at it, my body says rest and my body doesn't have it in it, doesn't have any energy, I'm not gonna um chug some pre-workout and go do the thing. Not anymore. I learned a very hard lesson when I broke my spine and I had to rehabilitate for the last 10 years. There's something in here about attuning and recalibrating. Yes, this is the time that we're doing it, but also on a more macro level is what I'm hearing. Begin to attune yourself. I'm going to just leave it as an invitation. Attune yourself to the natural rhythms, the cycles. Where does your body feel? What does it want to do in summer? What does it want to do in spring? What does it want to do in fall and winter? And instead of making your body move in the old way of like, oh, I got to have my job, I got to do this, I got to do that. Let it come back to a natural rhythm. Because I'm telling you, you're going to want to be attuned to that. Because as things crumble, as the earth shakes everybody awake and says, hey, I'm not taking your shit anymore, you're going to want to be in tune with those natural rhythms, with the earth. with the mothership. Okay? And this cave, this little cave dweller, it's time to come out of the cave. It's time to come out of your shell. It's time to come out of yourself. You have done enough. If you're watching this, you've done enough. That doesn't mean you're done. It simply means this is your time. This is your sign. This is your validation of saying it's time to go. It's time to do the things. It's time to go there. It's time to be who you are. If Isis wasn't who she was, do you know how different this planet would be? We'd have one less divine feminine Christ. Are you kidding me? That's massive. I say that to say that we need you in your light. You may be whoever you may be now. Or like your perception of like, I'm just this, I'm blah, 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 blah. But with some cultivation, with some presence, with some honesty. Day in, day out, practicing, you become a whole different version of you. You think Isis was just that? She worked, she studied, she practiced, she embodied it. And there is something to be said about, us, especially in the Western world, wanting the quick fix. We want the pill. No, it has never been about that. They conned your ass in thinking there was quick fixes. No, meditating daily, whether you like it or not, whether you're in it or not, or whether you can get into that really deep space or not. I've said this before. It's all about showing up to the practice, because in that there's a cultivation of inner motivation, inner confidence, inner drive, inner self-esteem. You esteem yourself. There's a value that rises within yourself when you come to something every day without question, without, now that's not to say ignore your body entirely, especially in the example of like working out every day, even when you're tired. There's a balance, okay? And it's up to you to cultivate and curate that balance, and also not to just cultivate and curate that, but to know, to see, to perceive when more rest or more action is needed, and to be able to do that. Grounding the circuit, being fully activated. All right. Speaking of activations, let's do this. If you do not wish to receive, please click off now. If you do wish to receive, please intend to receive. Hisikiana tahama kuuhale yamaha naha natiki samatuot yet samatikiata kianata at wama tiki tikiamati isiat kwa nana ia la ua sitna kianata umma wahiat. Take a deep breath. Let that land. Atide anatoko ate inati sana kuamatu wasana ta ia ta 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 ta. I want you to just envision bright white light, very soft but very bright. Coming in through your crown, and just showering you, water falling over you, all in and throughout your being, all four bodies. They sin at that physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, letting that clear you of any distortions, hesitations, doubts, uncertainties, beliefs, the limiting beliefs, fear-based beliefs. Sana, 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 kuama, 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 kuaseti, seti, 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 kiamat. Allow that to land. Taking a deep breath in and out, letting it move. These are divine blessings direct from Source, as given to us by Sanat Kumara. This is what I'm hearing. Okay, he is literally bringing these light codes in. I'm just the conduit. This is simply what I feel, so I'm just saying it and stating it. Uasa, uasa, my dear, my dear, my dear one. You are more radiant than you can ever know. Tune in to that which brings you the feeling of light, of being light. Some can simply cultivate the feeling of light and be the light. Some are more cerebral but can get there. Figure out who you are. Are you a feeler, a seer, a sensor, a knower? How do you be the light? Sit for 5 minutes and be light. This will show you where you need to focus your energy, whether that's healing, whether that's focus, whether that is something else entirely. It will illuminate what work needs to be done at this time. You will know it and sense it in your heart. Trust yourself, dear one. We need you to trust who you are, to trust in who you are, and to be who you are. We love you. We are here with you at this time. Supporting you, guiding you, working behind the scenes. We will say this even though the channel doesn't always like this, saying the light has already won. Feel into that. Expand upon that. How does that make you feel? Victorious, accomplished, proud, joyous? Tap into the frequency of the light having won, which will ultimately restore balance to this planet, balance to humanity, and balance to the multiverse. We leave you, but we will remain in your heart. You may call upon us for further guidance. Okay. So he came in, Sanat Kumara came in. That was very lovely. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hi, Angelics. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hi, Ascended Masters. We love you. Thank you. Anyways, my dears, I am feeling to leave this here. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Yes, we did a light code transmission, but remember, these readings aren't just readings, they are transmissions. They are transmissions of energy, of light, of codes to help you get to where you need to go. Whether that's working with me one on one or whether it's working with someone else, whatever that is, I'm here to help you get to where the fuck you need to go because we need you in your light. We need to bring balance back. And in order to do that, we need everybody online that's willing to do the thing because it's go time. Anyways, I will see you tomorrow in the next one, and till then, lots of love.